Recapping a big victory for the UNI football team at home as part of Hall of Fame weekend. And Coach, I know it's always busy with a lot of stuff going on. Were you able to see any former Panthers that were on campus for that special weekend?
I did. I stopped into the ceremony before it got started and definitely went around, saw Eddie Berlin, saw the basketball team. I mean, all those guys were here. And what's neat for me is I saw them do what they did to get to the Hall of Fame. I saw them actually compete. I saw them as players at a very young age, so it was kind of neat for me to see them get put into the Hall of Fame.
Talking about that UNI offense, as you continue to look to get it going and humming right along, evaluate Will McIlvain and what he has done so far as he continues to look to improve week to week at that QB position.
First and foremost, Will is a strong player because of he's dynamic because of his escapability, and he's always running to throw the ball. He's not running to run, he's running to make a play with the football by throwing it. That makes him dangerous. What he has to grow into is have the patience in the pocket. Don't rely on the scramble. Let the scramble be a reactive thing and not you don't want that to become your strength. You want your throwing game to be your strength, but yet what's going to make you different than everybody is your escapability.
Talk about Tyler Huseman and just what he brought in this past week in that win against Idaho State.
It was a neat game for Tyler. It's a neat because Tyler never got an opportunity in the first two games. As you know, and that's more on me than him because he was waiting for that opportunity. But through his patience and the way he handled himself, he got this opportunity. He made the most of it, and thus he's going to get more.
That offensive line is really big and important part of what you're doing. The cohesion, the chemistry, what you've seen out of them thus far.
We're too inconsistent right there. We have our moments, we have our times, our flashes, but we're just too much inconsistency, and maybe that comes from a lot of different things. The dynamics of the age of some of these guys, because they are young, first year experience, and losing Briley, I thought maybe lost a little bit of continuity early, but we have to make that up. They have to become that great chemistry and that great unit.
Coming up here, we have a story on Xavier Williams, and he is a multi-sport athlete that can just show up to a track meet and high jump and do so well. Talk about his athleticism, what he brings to that football defense.
I think everybody knows he's very athletic. Might be one of the most athletic high school athletes coming out of Iowa in his particular class. What I would say about Xavier to remember right now is he's having his best year. He's playing physical football. He's getting better at practice, and by moving him to safety, he has really taken on the role of learning the game so much more because he's relied on athleticism. Now he's incorporating the intellect of it, and that makes him a better player.
How important is that for the younger guys to look up and see what he's doing?
I think that's very important because he had to get bigger in the weight room this summer. He put that time in. Being a multi-sport, sometimes you pass up the weight room time to go do something else. But without the weight room time, you cannot become great at one thing and get good at something before you move on to something else. You can do both, but become great at something before you start taking on the challenges.
Here's that story on that all-conference performer, Xavier Williams.